Parshat Kedoshim is known for what we would call the moral laws as opposed to the ritual laws. That is to say, laws about relationships between human beings, care and concern for others, for the weak, for the disadvantaged. And of course, the famous line in it is, V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, you should love your neighbor as yourself. This expression, you should love, v'ahavta, is applied 3 times in the Torah, twice in Vayikra and once in Devarim. It's v'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, you should love your neighbor. It is also v'ahavta et hager, you should love the stranger. Ki gerim heitem v'eretz Mitzrayim, because you too were strangers in the land of Egypt. And the final one is in Devarim, where they talk about v'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha, you should love the Lord your God. The type of love we're talking about here differs in each case. There are some people who say v'ahavta l'reacha kamocha only applies to your neighbor in the sense of your co-citizen. In the same way that some people would say, v'ahavta et hager, you should love the stranger, only applies to a convert. But then, were the Jews in Egypt converts? Because it says, you remember what it was like to be a stranger. And that means somebody who is an alien from the outside coming into a community in which he or she will be treated well and respected. Loving is a strange term. When we talk about love in the West nowadays, we tend to think about the romantic love between husband and wife. People very often talk about this deep love between David and Jonathan as though it was something sexual. That's a totally modern way of looking at it. The Torah, the Tanakh doesn't see it that way. Love essentially is a combination of 2 factors. It is concern for the other person, and that would apply in human terms, and it is commitment. And that commitment applies to God as much as it applies to other people. What is commitment? It includes caring, but the sort of care you have for humans isn't the sort of care that you would have for God. And so we must, in a sense, define it this way. We have to draw on those inner resources that are so easily misdirected, those sources of love, and direct them to people we have contact with and to the idea of God. And so these 2 principles that we have in Judaism, bein adam lechavero, between a person and another person, bein adam lemakom, between a person and God, really underpin the whole of our religion. And all the rituals and all the rules and all the laws are designed to enhance these values. Why do we love our neighbor? Because we have one source. We were all created by that one God. Of course, it's easier to love some people more than it is to love others. But this idea of being concerned and loving, of course, was a debate between Rabbi Akiva and Ben Azai as to what is the most important principle. Is it the concern for those immediately close to you, your re'im, your brothers, or does it include all of humanity? Zeh sefer toldot ha'adam, we are all children of one God. When people talk about v'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, they forget or tend to not quote the second part of the sentence. And the whole sentence goes like this. V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha ani Hashem. You should love the Lord your God because I am God. Because God says so. Not because it's a utilitarian, useful, beneficial thing to do and you get rewards for being nice to people. Do it because this is the godly way of life.